Toy Story is, without a doubt, one of the most beloved films of all time, yet there's one quote-unquote plot hole that has persisted all these years that has to do with Woody. As was revealed in Toy Story 2, Woody was made decades ago. So why is it that Woody is so attached to Andy? Whatever happened to his previous owner, and why hadn't Woody had the same tragic backstory as Jesse? Believe it or not, there is a backstory behind this, but the only man who really knew about it was Joe Ranft, a Pixar writer who was pivotal in the company's formative years. Sadly, Ranft passed away in a car crash some time ago, but he had revealed his secrets to a friend named Mike Mozart. Mozart recently spoke with the YouTube channel Super Carlin Brothers and revealed the long and heartbreaking backstory behind this question. It all starts back with Andy's dad, who it turns out is named Andy, and we'll call him Andy Sr. from this point forward. If you'll recall, in Toy Story, we only see Andy Jr.'s mom, and the implication here is that she's a single mother. But what happened to Andy Sr.? That was another question fans would often ask. Well, this latest development kills two birds with one stone, so let's get into it. Before we get into what actually happened with his dad, let's just answer this one question right off the bat. Woody was actually Andy Sr.'s toy. The writing on Woody's boot? That's Andy Sr.'s handwriting. When he was young, Andy Sr. won Woody in a Woody's Roundup box top promotional cereal contest and kept him for all those years. But the rabbit hole goes deeper. Andy Sr., it turns out, had contracted polio as a kid, not kidding, and as a result had burned all of his belongings. But before they can get a hold of all of his toys, he managed to save Woody, Mr. Potato Head, and Slinky Dog, and locked them all away for decades. Andy Sr. obviously survived and went on to father both Andy Jr. and Molly. But apparently, if you've had polio once, it can strike again later on down the line. And strike it did. It struck so hard that Andy Sr. and his family had to move back to his parents' house, where he stayed and eventually passed away. But before he did, he gave Andy Jr. the key to the trunk with his most precious childhood toys. Andy Sr. then died. And sometime after the funeral, Andy opened up the trunk to find Woody, Slinky, and Mr. Potato Head waiting for him. Now here's the kicker. They thought he was the same Andy that put him in the trunk all those years prior. And because the passage of time in the trunk was unclear, they didn't realize that decades had passed. This may all seem like an overly convoluted fan fiction, but apparently it's all true. And there is even evidence in the house where the film begins. The story seems to pick up not long after Andy Sr.'s death, and therefore it takes place in Andy Sr.'s parents' house, where pictures of Andy Sr. are still hung up. While there is a resemblance between Andy Jr. and Andy Sr., the glasses worn by Andy Sr. are an unmistakable difference. So what do you think of this reveal? Do you like the true story of Woody's odd case of amnesia? Let us know your thoughts down below. And don't forget to keep your browsers tuned to LRM Online for the latest news and analysis of your favorite movies, TV shows, and comics.